Alright, so we're going to try the new strategy here. RTR block kind of fallen out of favor with me only because the Dragon's Mace pack is so, it's like crippling how you have to do this format, unfortunately. So, like, the best card in the pack, you know, the Gellan Sphinx, the Beetle Form Mage, but we might just want the Is It Guildgate. That's kind of the sad part. Seriously. What I've found is the toughest part about this format, you get the you get to look at goodies in your Dragon's Maze packs, and then you don't even get to necessarily play them. It's like, oh, I can take this Gellan Sphinx, and then I'm just going to cross my fingers that Azorius is open. Or else it's like, I take Gellan Sphinx, and then Azorius isn't open, but I'm convinced that it might be, and I end up making a total subpar mediocre deck that has a Gellan Sphinx in it. You know what I mean? So that's sort of like been my main complaint recently with this format, is that it's very like in your Dragon's Maze pack, it almost doesn't determine what your deck's going to be at all. It's like you could bypass the Dragon's Maze pack and know better what your deck's going to turn out, you know? So that's sort of been my problem with it. This might actually still be a Gellan Sphinx pick, just because I don't know what taking the Guildgate. I mean, we can try it, but let's just take the Sphinx, and then not necessarily commit to
somebody it. Else thought taking the Guildgate was a good option.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We can take the Beckon Call here, though, which is actually a very strong card and works remarkably well with Gellan Sphinx. So I'm not opposed to that. There's also Thrashing Moss Dog, Trust Any Summoner, Give and Take. Plenty of good cards in here, actually, that are still on color. So I guess we can take the Beckon Call. I'm okay with that. Yeah, and it's actually, that's a powerful spell.
Yeah.
Call I do like quite a bit, even if you don't make Beck available to you. You know, the musician Beck, if he's not available to you. Okay, you can take a Simic Guildgate here, which actually turns on half of Beck and Call. Could also take the Boros Mastiff.
And
White.
Anything else terribly exciting in here? We've got Ubulsar Gatekeeper, Boros Mastiff, Robobelt Maka, Pilfered Plans, Simic Guildgate, Rod Farm Skeleton. It's Mastiff or Guildgate for me. What do you guys think?
Mastiff.
Alright, just get a bear. Yeah. Better to have some cheap stuff just in case you're getting raced down. There's actually some really sick aggro decks that you can make work in this format, so I guess I'm not opposed to Mastiff. Let's try that. Now I've got another Mastiff, Azorius Guildgate. We've got Pilfered Plans.
Live the Dream, Bronzebeak Moa.
Bronzebeak Moa, Call. Yeah, that is kind of cool. For me, it's Mastiff or Guildgate. So what do you guys think? Guildgate opens us up for a potential third color in case we're getting cut. Mastiff, I guess, just is always going to be good as a 2-mana.
I'd go with the second Mastiff, just because Azorius Guildgate, you can probably pick them up in Return to Ravnica.
Well, we would hope. Yeah. But regardless, I guess I'm just cool with Mastiff because it's a good creature. Works well with Sphinx too.
And 2-drops are important.
2-drops are very important. I agree. I kind of wish they would organize Beck and Call by the call instead of the Beck. It would help me.
Or
look at my convert mana cost a little bit better.
Just put it in the 8-drop slot or something.
Yeah.
So that it's just totally on its own.
But they just do the first spell on the fuse card.
That is a giant lizard. Hey, look.
I think it's a frog.
Alright. Ooh, another Gellan Sphinx. That's a good sign for Azorius. So there's Deputy of Acquittals, which is also good, but we got to take the Sphinx over. Windrake also very, very.
But
somehow Windrake is good. Somehow Windrake is like really good in this format. I haven't quite understood. I still don't understand why, since there's so many other.
I think it's one. Gellan Sphinx to kill it.
I think it's one blue mana also to
cast. Yeah, that probably is it. Just the fact that it's monocolor, and like I said, this can be
a Tower Drake.
This can be an obnoxious format for making what you want to do work.
Yeah.
Just because there's so much overlap, and despite all the Cluestone and all the other fixing, sometimes you can really end up short on fixing. But if we can make 2-color work, so far we're on a very good path to,
I like second Sphinx
to doing that. Oh, definitely. Okay. So now we have a Deputy, also a Mastiff. Actually, I think we want the Deputy just for diversity. Yeah. We're definitely in Azorius, and Deputy works really well protecting your Sphinxes and protecting your creatures and stuff like that. It's also very good alongside random cards like Urbis Protector, where you're getting additional angels. Works really well alongside any enter the battlefield effect.
Can act like a removal spell against a 2-toughness guy.
Flash creature blocks, that evolved Shamble Shark or something. They thought they were going to be cute on you, and you're like, oh, I'll be cute right back. Let's flash this little bad boy in. Runner's Bane is playable. That's out of this next pack here. There's
This
also
is our first pack, it looks like.
not too much else in here. Death to the Deathless, which sadly I've lost to in limited. Warzov, Cluestone, Phyto Burst. Nothing too exciting here. We'll take the Runner's Bane, which is playable.
Ooh,
Alright, now we've
Snare
got
Squad?
Has the Snare Squad.
Possibility Storm. We'll make a combo deck.
There's also Maze Behemoth, Thrashing Moss Dog. This late kind of is indicative to
Cluestone
me that green may be open because Moss Dog is a highly pickable card in my opinion. But we're going to take the Snare Squad because it's a phenomenal creature. Alright, we can take Restore the Peace. I'm not opposed to that.
It's a little shitty that it bounces creatures that blocked.
If
So
we're
it
li-
doesn't work well with Jellin Sphinx.
This
but
is actually our original pack.
yeah, this is.
So Notion Thief made it around. We're going to take the Restore the Peace and possibly play it if we're hard up for creatures.
Yeah.
So I've heard all sorts of different strategies about what you're supposed to do. I've heard people are like, just take the guild gates, worry about the cards you play in later, see what's passed. I've heard the build towards gate crash strategy where it's like, I'm only going to take colors that are in a gate crash guild, see if that works. If it doesn't, I'll fall back on Return to Ravnica to fill up the rest. It doesn't look like we're doing either of those necessarily. We're not taking guild gates, and we're not taking a gate crash guild. So
I actually prefer the strategy of building towards Return to Ravnica because you're the person next to you that is going to be passing you the packs again.
Yeah.
Is also like focusing on.
They'll see.
Colors.
Yeah, they'll see that you're taking a Return to Ravnica guild, or they will see that that guild isn't open. Yeah.
I totally understand what you guys are saying. I believe the argument against that is
There's no fallback.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you build towards gate crash, let's say it doesn't work out. Well, thank God I've still got another pack to like salvage this mess.
Yep.
We're gonna take Steeple Rock out of this.
That's
But
a
if you
very
build,
good plan.
but if you were to just pick Azorius, and let's say we open our Azorius packs and it's like the most atrocious, Azorius cards ever, we might have some problems. Here, I guess we'll just take a Maze Sentinel because it's on color. It
What
is
about
definitely the worst Maze card,
Cluestone?
but
Bluestone, yeah.
okay, we can take Dimir Cluestone maybe if we want to splash for blue. Dimir is out of the next pack.
His plans.
Most likely not doing it, but you never know. We could open something sick in Dimir.
And it'll just get you Jellin Sphinx a turn sooner as well.
Yeah, that's true. As of now,
We have 3/5 drops.
I'd
Yeah.
much more likely build the. Well, I guess I just like to stick to Azorius, but it doesn't always work out. You don't always get what you want. Rolling Stones knew that a long time ago.
But you might get what you need.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Actually, they assured me that you would get what you need.
No, you just might.
Oh, you just might find
Yeah.
So-
that you get what you need.
Are you guys
You
ready
might find it. You might not find it.
Are you
but
guys
do
ready
get what you
for me to invest $90 so we can have a bunch of plane chase decks? That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Well, if you're investing,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Then
I,
yes.
actually, I'm kind of worried. Like, I was looking for the option and I couldn't even find it when like creating a game and stuff.
Oh,
so I'm
scary.
not. So I'm not. Yeah, I know. How pissed off would you be?
Right,
Like,
Yeah,
Control.
riot control. Yeah, why would they sell them online then?
they must be available.
have
I
to-
just
it
don't
has
know.
to
I just
be.
don't know how to set it up. It might
You
be.
should just ask an orc before.
Yeah, before investing
anything.
$100.
Yeah.
I mean, that is expensive. I guess it's probably the same amount they charge in real life for
Yeah.
those things. I actually don't know. Jake, you own Plane Chase. Do you remember? Probably roughly $30.
They're at least 25 a piece, I think.
How many do you own? 2?
I have
Double
all of them.
riot control.
I have
I
all
guess
the
we could actually take
planes.
Is It Bluestone here just because it might open us up for a red splash.
Air America.
America. All right, so the next
No,
pack.
that's never panned out.
The next pack we can be receptive to both Dimir and Boros. Now that we have the 2 clue stones, but would much rather just stick to our blue-white and not have to
Blue-white
worry about
flyers.
fixing.
Come on, Daring Stranger.
Blue-white flyers is a good strategy. Double Gel and Sphinx I'm pretty pleased with. Steeple Rock somehow has been a much better card than I initially gave it credit for. Usually I'm very hesitant about paying 5 mana for 1 toughness, but in this case there's enough abilities wrapped, and we've seen this something similar to this. Oh, that's what it was. In Innistrad block, the Silverclaw Griffin, which we played and is okay, is worse in Innistrad block than Steeple Rock is in Return to Ravnica. Yeah. So that's one of those things where you have to play the format to truly understand those little things.
Mhm.
Like if you were to just vacuum look at Steeple Rock, you're like, oh, this card's crap. Why am I gonna pay 5? They're just gonna play like Electrickery and then I'm toast. But really, it's like there is that liability, but much more often the removal they have to play is more expensive than so you end up
Yeah,
getting
most
some good
creatures have
value out of
higher
it.
toughness, like in this format. So
Smite.
electric
Pack 2
creatures
here.
could
Yeah, we got some
very
options.
well
We've
adapt.
got Smite. I'll just name the best cards here. We got Smite, Krakenura, Nav Squad Commandos, Madcap Skills, Battle Straits by Ivy Lane Denizen, Grizzly Spectacle, Simic Charm, Debtor's Pulpit, Shanktail. I guess it's Smite. We could end up with some more token cards.
We have 2 vigilance guys too.
And Smite has been pretty good. Yeah, that's a good point. And Haas the Snare Squad's a nice little blocker too. Good Smite target. Okay. I guess we're going Smite. It's a removal spell, which we're currently very light on, so... what was that?
Works with Deputy.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah. Flash in Smite. We got Sapphire Drake here, which might be the pick. There's also... there's Burning Tree Emissary, Pit Fight, Kingpin's Pet, Verdant Haven, Slaughterhorn, Active Treason. Sadly, yeah, it looks like Sapphire Drake. Not that Sapphire Drake's bad, it's actually very good. It's just, can't really hope to wheel anything out of this pack. Which we might play, yeah. Okay, Blind Obedience, Boros Elite, Nav Squad
Death
Commandos, Death Cult Rogue. Yeah, I think the Rogue sort of stick with the evasion plan. I guess we also could do the Sage's Rogue, which is a better blocker.
Works well with Smite.
Sage's Rogue works well. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess they both work well with Smite, technically. I mean, Death Cult Rogue's more color intensive, but I really do like the fact that it's evasive. We're probably going to be doing the Blue-White Flyers deck, so I guess I can get behind Death Cult Rogue. But let's color sort and... I guess we are less blue than white, but it's if we're ending up 2-color, it shouldn't be a deal either way. So what do you guys think? Death Cult Rogue versus Sage's Rogue here.
I like Death Cult Rogue because I don't think we're gonna try to mill him out.
All right, let's go with Death Cult Rogue. Edict here looks like it's a pick. What else we got in the pack?
Right.
Skypan Charger, Ivy Lane, Denizen, Cling Anemones.
Put pants on your birds.
Ripscale Predator.
Be even better.
Reich, you're surprisingly playable in a pinch.
Good with people around.
We've made it work before, but we're going to take the Edict,
Yeah.
which is a good sign that it's coming around here. All right, now we've got Metropolis Sprite, which I do think is a pick, but we've also got Keymaster Rogue, Firefist Strike, which is an excellent Boros card, Cartel Aristocrat, nothing else.
Kind of like the
And
2-drop.
another
I mean, I think we take the Sprite as well, I agree, although we don't have a 4-drop currently, so something to keep in mind. And actually, Keymaster Rogue is good. Keymaster Rogue has proven itself to be good. That's true, and we saw one earlier that we can probably table. Metropolis Sprite is legitimately good too.
Ooh,
all right, now we've got the Hands of Binding here.
That's perfect.
Other relevant cards to our deck in this pack would be the Prism, once again opening us up for a third, if a splash, if we wanted it. But I agree, the Hands of Binding based on the evasion.
I'm so surprised at how little blue and white is coming around. That really frightens me.
Really, we've got a decent blue pick every time.
I know, but like
or blue white pick.
we're getting one each pack.
Oh, that's true. But the good news is we're already close to a pretty solid looking deck.
Yeah, it's true.
We only need to cut a couple clue stones, and we don't, like Morgan said, we don't have to cut them. We can still play them in a pinch if we have to. But I'm definitely happy to take Hands of Binding there. All right,
Assault Griffin.
Totally lost. No, you're right. The Assault Griffin more relevant. Soul Ransom is a pretty good spell too.
Mm-hmm.
An actual mind control effect in this format, but the Assault Griffin just definitely is on plan with what we're doing. We want to evade in. I mean, technically, I'd like to cut the Restore the Peace as well, but I can see playing at a pinch. We can take the Armored Transport out of this pack. The reason being, it always gets to attack in, and it actually works really well with the Boros Mastiffs, giving us a little bit of lifelink. It works well with the Sphinxes as well. So we'll take an Armored Transport. I'm okay with that. All right, we got a Debtor's Pulpit. We got a Nav Squad Commandos. Debtor's Pulpit is cool. Nav Squad's cool too. Nav Squad's a better blocker on the ground.
Debtor's Pulpit is technically a 6-drop, so.
True. I'm really not opposed to the Debtor's Pulpit. For some reason, I've had like really good success with this card, and I actually really like it in the type of strategy we're doing, where we don't have a lot of blockers on the ground, and we constantly can keep their biggest guy in check. I think I'm actually more leaning towards the Debtor's Pulpit.
It keeps flyers down if they happen to.
Yeah, it gets rid of blockers.
Hover barrier.
Take the Shielded Passage, Active Treason, Riot Gear. Yeah, I guess I agree.
I don't
with
see
that.
us getting into battle too much. Shielded Passage.
All right, we got a Nav Squad Commandos anyway.
Skyblinder.
Skyblinder Staff's cool, but we're gonna take Nav Squad.
But Skyblinder Staff works so well with flying creatures.
Well, my thing is, we definitely wouldn't main deck Skyblinder Staff, and there is actually a chance that we main deck the Nav Squad.
That's fine.
I agree that we have a lot of 5-drops, but we're tad bit short on creatures. And actually, like, Nav Squad's a good creature. I've come to love him in all my time. playing these. He's
More
one of those.
gear.
He's one of those deceptively good creatures. So why don't we cut the clue stones for now? Just sort of see where what the deck I'd like to play.
Murder investigation.
So cutting all of the off colors, lackluster spells, we look like we're hovering at about 19, which isn't bad considering
creatures.
we're about to enter our final pack, which should be
We need 3 drops and 4
ours
drops.
already stuff. Yeah, Skymark Rock's pretty much the best you can open. All right, we got some good options here. We open Steam Vinces are rare, but we have New Prop Guildmage, we have Syncopate, Stealer of Secrets, Knightly Valor. That's just the on-color stuff. There's Stab Wound in here, which is ridiculous.
I think I like Guildmage the most.
I guess we take Guildmage. What are our non-flyers? We have Mastiff, Snare Squad, Nav Squad. All right, there's enough. And actually, he gets his own ability.
Yeah.
The Detain can be relevant when you're getting flooded. New Prop's pretty good. Hope to wield the Syncopate, since it's actually proven itself to be pretty good in this format as well.
I want Liev.
Who doesn't want Liev Sky Knight? Liev Sky Knight, Skymark Rock. That would really put this deck in a good place. Currently, removal we're looking at Smite, Hands Binding, Runner's Bane, Angelic Edict, all of which are good. All right, we got Dramatic Rescue here, Avenging Arrow, and those are the only 2 on-color stuff. The rare is remaining its Death's Presence. Nivix Guildmage is much better in full block than it was in Return to Ravnica, since the removal has gotten much, much cheaper in Gate Crash. Golgari Decoy, also very good. Courser's Accord, excellent finisher. Avenging Arrow and Gate Creeper Vine are both good. We're going to take the Rescue since it's amazing. Okay, now we have Concordia Pegasus. The rare is still remaining. Search the City. There's Augur Spree, Thought Flare in here. Crosstown Courier, Swift Justice, Axebane, Rakdos Guildgate. Tons of good cards. I think we take the Pegasus because it's a 2-drop. We're a little bit short on creatures. It's good with the Smite. Gets in. It's not amazing, but I don't know what else we're taking. Swift Justice is actually pretty acceptable too. I could get behind that. I mean, that's really up to you guys. Swift Justice or Pegasus.
I kind of like Justice more, but I can see the argument for either.
We have plenty of 2-drop creatures.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take the Justice then. Blue-white typically doesn't get the best removal. I can get behind that. Ooh, Detention Sphere. That's kind of hot.
Speaking of
all right,
removal,
so Cellar is also in the pack.
Inspiration.
Armory Guard, Inspiration, all of those I would also happily pick. Even Sundering Growth, which we'll probably wheel, is a good sideboard, but happily taking that Detention Sphere.
Yeah.
Little Oblivion Ring effect, a little better than.
Kind of surprised that it's there.
The Token Killer.
Yeah, so that guy who's playing
Courser's Accord.
Yeah.
Courser's Accord.
Please do double up on them.
Populate. Before you guys attack, let me Detention Sphere.
So that's cool. All right, now I've got Armory Guard.
Skymark.
That's a late Augur Spree. Actually, I like Skyline Predator quite a bit, so I'll happily take him here.
Yeah.
Aerial Predation is going to be good against us. Gutter Snipe and Augur Spree, like I said, remaining. Someone's going to be really happy with that second Augur Spree, but we're pretty happy taking the Skyline Predator. All right, currently at 24 spells. What's the first cut? Perhaps the Armored Transport, just because it's a little bit underwhelming. Could also be the Nav Squad, because like you guys said, we're a little bit.
We do have tons of 5 drops.
We're a little bit 5-drop heavy.
We have 2 that have 5 toughness already, plus we have 6 drops that have 4 toughness.
I guess I can get behind that. Phantom General and Action Injunction. Do we have any tokens currently?
No.
This thing. It actually does kind of work well with Call. It's also a 2/3 creature. But an Action Injunction is a little cantrip, buys you a little time. The reason I really like Injunction in this kind of list is the whole point of a deck like this is to set up early an evasive force of a couple creatures, and this really lets you just like sort of detain them, you know, and basically block them up for a turn that grants you the turns you need to get enough damage to finish them off. Yeah, I do actually like the Phantom General because of the Call, but I see the argument there. Okay, I think we're just taking the Blockade, which is actually a highly playable card.
Teleportal's cool.
Teleportal, great finisher. I've lost and won with it many a time. Really amazing spell. Most embarrassing loss to it was he didn't even overload it. It was like, oh, okay, just front end of it. Unblockable, you die? Alright. Security Blockade it is.
That can definitely replace the transport.
Alright, this we're gonna hate the Hellhole Flailer out of this next pack here.
This is what I'm talking about. These packs are like totally stripped of white and blue.
It's okay. We ended up with a great deck.
No, I'm just surprised that there was enough to feed more people
Yeah, you're right.
white and blue strategy.
No, that's a valid point.
What is this?
We did table to syncopate. All right. I
So
think
maybe
I'd rather
that's
do.
just
Well,
the
actually, that's a
call.
good. We only have. I guess we have 15 creatures if you count the call, which I do as a creature. We could be. I think we can afford to
And
be a.
security blockade.
Oh, okay. We can afford to be a little bit creature lighter in here, only because Stealer doesn't invade on its own. I'd rather play the syncopate.
Yeah, I'd take out the armored transport now too.
Okay, because syncopate's actually pretty playable.
Accord is worse.
Course Accord's the best card remaining in here.
Okay.
It's better. It's better than the Death's
Okay.
Presence. Death's Presence doesn't win you the game on its own, whereas Course Accord does.
Downsize?
Trickery is decent against our call, and is it good against us beyond that? I guess not. So I guess you're right. We can take downsize. I guess we're not playing it though. We're not likely to sideboard it. I think I'm just gonna take the Trickery because I've had times where that's been obnoxious against us. Sundering Growth, very good.
Scan.
No.
Oh.
But we get to gain life.
Yay!
And see their hand.
And
Wow.
You know exactly what's killing you.
Yeah.
All right. So the good news of the deck,
Can't answer.
despite my constant complaints in the beginning of this draft, we actually ended up with a good deck. I'm pretty pleased with what we ended up with. So let's put all of our extremely relevant spells in first. Of which we have quite a few. Still a lot of 5-drops, but that's okay. This is 24. Well, probably wants Runner's Bane too. Okay, so we'll organize it. We're going to separate our creatures and removal the way I like to do it. There's this. There's that guy. This thing. That.
Well, I think
we could cut an in-game spell. I guess we could cut the pulpit.
I think I'd cut that.
We could cut the pulpit, or we could cut the Runner's Bane. Runner's Bane can sometimes be underwhelming. Here's what I think we'll do. I think we'll do what you said. We're going to cut the Debtor's Pulpit main deck. What I like is, if Runner's Bane sucks against your opponent, let's say they're the Savage Surge Giant Growth deck, you just get rid of it and we'll bring in the Debtor's Pulpit at that point. We'll up the curve a little bit, but at least it'll give us like an option that effectively, and sometimes Runner's Bane can be very good. Let's say they're a high removal deck and they're hoping to,
well, against Boros, it takes half of a Martial Glory and it's like the half that you want to use on attack.
Good point. Yeah. So they won't even at least get that additional damage in. Okay, so I can get behind this list. This looks pretty good. Like I said, it looks like it's 13 creatures, but it's really 15 because we have the Beck and Call and Security Blockade. So this looks like a pretty solid list. Don't often get to play Azorius, I don't think. We haven't played Azorius in a while.
Are we only doing 16 then?
And I forgot. What did I forget to cut? I thought we were at 20.
No, you put in the Runner's Bane as well.
No,
so
yeah, well, we left
up to 25.
Okay. Oh, I was at 25. I see. Okay. Well, I guess maybe we cut the Runner. Or maybe the Injunction or the Runner's Bane.
I feel like Runner's Bane is the easier one to cut, because Injunction takes care of everything for a turn, and we're totally tempo.
Here's the thing. Runner's Bane is like a better card against decks that don't have pump spells, and Injunction's a better all-around card. So it's like, do we want... I guess for that reason, Runner's Bane will be a better sideboard option, because it's better against specific decks. Okay.
Yeah. Against anyone who's playing white, blue, black, Runner's Bane is really good.
Looks like we're slightly more white than blue, but we do need the double blue. Do we need double white? We actually do not. So I think I'm actually going to err on the side of blue.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay.
There's another 4.
Erroneous force. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, for back.
Oh, that's 18.
Yep,
that's
good.
Okay. So this is the list we're going to play. If you want to watch these, the drafts for this, the games for this, go to seemsgoodmagic.com. I'll have it posted by the time you watch this podcast. The games will be posted. So if you want to contact me, mortarpod at seemsgoodmagic.com. Follow us on Twitter at seemsgoodmagic. Still live streaming Tuesdays, Thursdays. We've been doing Innistrad blocks with a moderate degree of success, I should add. We actually have, they only offer 4-3-2-2 Innistrad block drafts currently. But Jake and I have pretty consistently, we haven't actually lost a round one yet. So I'll tell you one thing, it's motivating me to keep doing it. if it's that cheap to do an Innistrad block. And
Yeah, and
we
it's
opened
fun.
like a foil Hell Rider, which helped pay for
Nice.
some future ones. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. Innistrad block was so fun. We did a mono red Innistrad. I'll have to show you the list in between rounds or something. But
Man, I miss playing single colors.
But Morgan, I appreciate you coming on the podcast again.
Yeah,
We
no
were in dire
problem.
need of a guest. We needed some more input here besides our two heads thinking on this. So I appreciate you coming in and
problem.
chatting with us again. All right. Hope you enjoyed this podcast and see you guys soon.
Later.